Welcome back to Nonstop Nerd. It's been a while since you've seen my beautiful face. I've been playing a lot of video games for NN Arcade, as you probably see from the rest of the YouTube channel. But I'm back on camera, at least for now. It's been a bit busy, but I'm back. And today, I want to talk about something that's been bothering me a little bit with recently in Hollywood. And that's the live-action Disney remakes. It's definitely been a big trend that Disney has been rolling with lately, and some of it has been pretty good, and some of it not so much. And it's something that I've been really wanting to talk about. Seeing Disney classic animated movies reimagined in live action was a lot of fun at first. Seeing something like The Jungle Book brought to life with incredible effects and adding some real emotion to the story and even adding a lot to the villain's story was a lot of fun. It was really exciting to see. And afterward, a lot of people were really excited to see what came next for Disney and what they could do with live action versions of their movies. However, I feel like they went too far in the wrong direction with it. Okay, so the live action films for Disney didn't start with The Jungle Book. It did start more with the Alice in Wonderland movies, but I feel like the trend didn't start until they released Jon Favreau's Jungle Book movie. And that first Alice in Wonderland movie, directed by Tim Burton, was a pretty fun version. It had its flaws, but it opened up the door for so much more, and they did a lot with it that the animated movie didn't do. And I wanted to see it as a franchise. I wanted to see what journeys Alice could have gone on. It was enough to get me excited about this new version. The sequel, Alice Through the Looking Glass, didn't do as well. Wasn't perceived as well either. It was overall clumsy and showed maybe what could go wrong with Disney doing live action versions of their movies. But after the huge hit that was The Jungle Book, they really ran with this live action remake stuff. They pushed out movies like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Aladdin, Dumbo, and there's plenty more to come. One of the huge issues with some of them, mainly with The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, is that they're just the same movie as the animated version. They just took what was already there for us, what we already had, and just recreated it shot for shot with a different CGI animation style. And sure, they add maybe a scene or two here and there, make the movie longer, but it doesn't add too much. I did like seeing more about Belle's mother in Beauty and the Beast, and I did like seeing some extra Zazu and Nala scenes in The Lion King, but they're all the same movie that we've had for 20 years now. And if they're just going to give us the same movie that we already have, why is that worth the price of a movie ticket? Dumbo was worth watching on Disney Plus. I wouldn't have gone to theaters to see it. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't terrible. I enjoyed seeing it on the paid subscription service that I'm already paying for anyway. And the live action Lady and the Tramp was just released straight to Disney Plus. And maybe that's the way to go with these. They're not worth going to the movies for. It's more of the same. It is nice to see how they can be recreated in a different style, which is nice enough to see on Disney Plus or a subscription service, but not worth going to the movies for. So I think going forward, I just want them to just put them on Disney Plus. I don't want them to keep spending millions of dollars giving us the same movies again and again and again. Aladdin was another one that, for the most part, was the same as the animated one, but with other problems added to it. And I liked the new song, I liked the environments and the set design and the costume design a lot, but overall, it was a huge missed opportunity. They could have used this to do something bigger and different. They could have turned it into this huge Bollywood musical, similar to how the end credits were, but instead it was just a very rushed, dull version of a movie that we already have, and one of the best Disney movies ever made. Why try to recreate that and make it worse? There was a Cinderella live action remake at some point that happened. No one went to see it. And it seems like this live action remake trend is not ending anytime soon for Disney. They're already coming out with a new Mulan, a Cruella de Vil movie, and basically everything else. I even saw some rumors about a live action Lilo and Stitch remake, which could be cool, but it's just going to be a CGI mess. And I'm all for seeing these live action versions of old stories as long as they make them different enough. Make them different stories, take a character and give them a different story arc than we've already seen. Change it up so it feels like it's something different. The Maleficent movies did this perfectly. They took the story of Sleeping Beauty, completely turned it on its head, and made it completely feel like a whole new story. It's no longer about Aurora, it's now about Maleficent and what she's going through, and it humanizes this villain so well. And that's not something that we got with that original animated film. Christopher Robin, which is easily the best live-action Disney remake, in my opinion, they took the story of Winnie the Pooh and did something with it that has never been done before. By seeing what happens when Christopher Robin grows up and grows out of Pooh and his friends is really emotional and really interesting to see. And it added a lot of depth to the character, and it added a lot of emotion even to the Pooh Bear characters. From the looks of the trailers and the posters of the upcoming Mulan, it looks like they're changing it up a lot. Not too much, but just enough to make it feel like it's something different. It looks like they're actually making it the epic war battle movie that the animated movie didn't get to be because of its rating. And the story of Mulan is a war movie, so it'll be cool to see a lot of this action in live action that we didn't get to see in animated. And yeah, I know people are upset that we're not going to get Mushu or the songs or anything, but telling the story of this character and everything that she did is going to be really exciting because I feel like this new live action version is going to be very honest. Also, just having the character that we grew up with kicking ass with a sword, I'm not exactly going to complain about that either. One of the other Disney animated classics that I think could be done differently enough that it could stand on its own as a live action movie is Hercules. Sure, maybe throw in some themes or references from the animated version, but them making a live action Hercules movie that actually followed the trials of Hercules from the Greek mythology, it could be epic. Having Hercules battle monsters and save people in live action could be a lot of fun to see. It doesn't have to be as toned down or as backed away from the grittiness of the original tale that the animated movie was. And I'm not saying that the animated movie was bad because of it. It's one of my favorite ones. It was the first film that I ever saw in theaters as a kid. But we already have that version. It'll be nice to have something very brand new that works on its own as well. This Disney live-action remake trend was a lot of fun at first because we got to see what they could do and what kind of movies they would bring into live action. It was really exciting when we got those announcements. Oh, they're redoing The Lion King in live action. We're going to see how that looks. That's going to be very exciting. But it just became too much, and I'm kind of tired of it. Because yes, on one hand, it is exciting. On the other hand, especially with The Lion King, if you compare the two, where the animated movie was colorful and full of emotion, the live action version, which is, let's face it, is just a different type of animation, completely lacked that emotion and color, which is one of the things that made the original so great. Man, it's just no longer fun or exciting. The only thing that would keep it fun or exciting is if instead of giving us more of the same movies that we already have and we already have access to, giving us a different take on them, giving us a different story. It doesn't have to be a brand new movie, but it doesn't have to be the same movie. And if they make Cruella similar to how they did Maleficent, there could be something interesting there. I also don't want Disney to forget to release original content alongside these remakes either. Disney used to be one of the most creative movie studios ever, and now they've become way too focused on revisiting the same stories and giving us the same stuff that we already have. They have just run out of creativity and just giving us more of the same and the same and the same. It makes me very happy that the Pixar side of Disney and the Disney Animated Studios side of Disney are working hard on creating new content. But the live action side of Disney isn't. And they haven't been since maybe the Pirates of the Caribbean. And that's really unfortunate because things like Tron or Pirates of the Caribbean or National Treasure are great. And seeing a new live action Disney classic would be a lot of fun to see. And I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. And I definitely think that it's time for Disney to go back to its creative roots and give us some of these some new classic tales. Mary Poppins was great, but what's the next one? What's the next live action Disney classic? I miss seeing how creative Disney's storytelling could be. Let me know how you feel about all these Disney live action remakes we've been getting and what animated classics you think would be actually pretty good in live action. And if you want to see more on all things nerdy, whether it be comic book discussions, video game talk, movie reviews, and more, head over to nonstopnerd.com. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.